So, somebody lost their German Shepherd. This pretty dog. Hey, Buck. Hey, Buck. We gotta get him back to his daddy. He's dying of water. Oh, hold on, doggy. Don't go anywhere. After dropping off Buck, the German Shepherd, I confirmed the zero for both the 139 grain Sledgehammer and the Hornady 140 grain ELDM. There's been a lot of hog activity on this property, but Ron hasn't seen anything consistently on his game cams. Here is the condition for tonight. The landowner has decided to plow this once hickory-filled field. As you can tell, there's brush piles everywhere throughout here. But in doing this, the unearthing has created a scent, and the hogs have just been coming in here like crazy. I've got access to hunt that 235-acre lot there, and there's a big acre of property that way. But the wind is coming this direction, blowing right that way, and he knows the hogs have been coming from that area. So I'm going to push myself far back onto this brush pile and really just rely on my thermals to find these guys. But if they come in, I'm going to have to move it because there's a lot of ground to cover here. This is a perfect test for the FLIR 736. This is exactly the type of setup for this thermal, and this is also be a good test for the Pulsar Axion XM30 on how far I'll be able to range heat. It is a full moon tonight, so there's no telling what might come out. Plus, this is a whole new situation, so let's get a hog down on the ground. Here's a quick scan of the area I will be hunting tonight. Facing due west, my max yardage would be 740 yards to my southwest. Directly in front of me would be 700 yards max. To my north is 400 yards. To my northeast would be another 730 yards. And to my south is roughly 100 yards. In short, a lot of scanning. It was quiet for the first few hours, then the night turned on. I spotted a coyote working north of me, but I did not want to run a 139 grain Sledgehammer bullet through this thin pelted coyote. Plus the night was early, so I gave him a pass. Then I spotted what I thought was a small sounder of hogs in the tree line with my Pulsar Axion XM30. I moved 300 yards closer and scanned with my FLIR 736 Thermosight Pro, only to realize that it was a group of bedding calves. While I was returning, I caught movement to my northeast and I found another coyote running the field. Again, I didn't want to run a 139 grain Sledgehammer bullet through its soft pelt, so I gave this one a pass also. Around 11 p.m., I decided to spot and stalk the entire area. While moving west, I spotted a predator limping badly. I repositioned myself behind one of the brush piles to protect myself from the full moon. I needed confirmation that it wasn't a deer. I switched the thermal to outdoor alert. I saw the outline of a bobcat or a coyote. I sent the 139 grain Sledgehammer, and the predator melted straight into the ground. When you watch the video in slow motion, you can see the exit point of the bullet on the predator's left rump. Wasn't sure if it was a bobcat or a coyote. That answers that. Young guy, small. Let's see what that Sledgehammer bullet did. Really nice coat. This is the second coyote I've shot out here that has this really nice white, black, tan, and silver or gray color to it. It was a direct quartering shot. I can't see an entrance. Is that the exit? Looks like that he was wounded before. That wasn't me, because he was definitely limping. I can't find the bullet. Oh, he's not that big, maybe 20-ish pounds. Oh, there's the exit right there. Yeah. Blew right through him. But where's the entrance? Huh. I'll wait till daylight to investigate. I switched ammo to the Hornady 147 grain ELDM. Immediately I noticed another coyote crossing the field to my northeast. The wind was blowing directly out of the south. He was going to wind me, so I stopped him. This was going to be a long shot, close to 300 yards, and I am at 2x zoom. In slow motion, you can see at 300 yards I shot low. If you look at the tree directly behind the coyote, you can see my bullet impact the tree. I worked the entirety of the coastal field, but nothing but cows in the area. Before leaving, I decided to test both the Pulsar Axion XM30 and the Flora 736 Thermosight Pro. This is basically right at 100 yards right here. The end of this tree line right there is right about 250. That farthest end way out there is at 730 yards. Where that cow is right there, he's about maybe 50 yards off of that tree line, and that is right at 700 yards from where I'm standing. I didn't get measurements right here. I'm fairly certain this tree line right here is also going to be right about 300 yards. Directly across from me, that tree line's at 400. And then way back here in this corner, if I can get it, is at 370. So now I'll also do the flare. Tree line here again is at 100 yards. It's really close for this 6x native zoom scope. End of the tree line is about 275, right there, that tree. There's that far corner right there, that's at 730 or 40. And this cow again is going to be right at 700 yards. Where'd he go? There he is. Wait a minute. Are those pigs? No, it's just another cow. It's just another cow. It's not moving like a pig. This thermal definitely picks up a lot more. Okay, so this tree line over here is at 300 yards. And we'll go to the 400 yard mark. Directly across, right there, is at 400 yards. It's a full moon, that's why it's so washed out. Probably should turn it down. And this is at 730, 740 corner. Yeah, right there. Earlier that evening, I told Ron I would spot and stalk the east side of the property. There are a lot of oak trees that I'm certain the hogs are hitting. I caught a heat signature next to a group of trees. It looked like a hog bedding into the ground, but I couldn't tell because it was deep in the brush. I tried a couple of different angles to confirm the target, and then he stood up. The tail and his scratching gave me the confirmation I needed. At 60 yards, the Hornady 147 grain ELDM almost twisted this coyote in half upon impact. This coyote is completely opposite than the first one. Absolutely riddled with mange. Smells really bad. I'm not touching him. On my stalk back, I spotted a heat signature across the pond, but the wind was completely wrong. I had ample time to shoot him, but I needed confirmation that this was a hog and not a calf. It took him less than 15 seconds to win me. I hunted hard tonight with a lot of spot and stalking, and it paid off. The injured coyote weighed in at just over 25.5 pounds. The 139 grain sledgehammer bullet absolutely melted him. At 120 yards, the bullet zipped through him at 2,322 feet per second, delivering 1,663 foot-pounds of energy. The second coyote I did not touch due to its mange. My guess he is just around 20 pounds. At 60 yards, the Hornady 147 grain ELDM passed through him at 2,271 feet per second, delivering 1,684 foot-pounds of energy. At this distance, none of the brush he was hiding behind deflected the bullet. I've added a new tool to my hog hunting arsenal. Any guesses what it might be? Comment below. I'm stacked up on a lot of precision long-range build videos that I've yet to edit. I've got 3 bullets to test and neocropsy on hogs, the Hammer 139 grain sledgehammer, the Hornady 147 grain ELDM, and the new Burger 144 grain hybrid target bullet. Until then, stay tuned for my next adventure.